I have a very specific form of optimism. Every Sunday night, I believe a more organized version of me is about to arrive. I make the list. I arrange the blocks. I create a week so beautiful it could be framed and used as evidence against me later. Then Tuesday happens. One call runs long. One errand moves. One task gets emotionally heavier than expected. Suddenly, the plan is no longer a plan. It is a silent accusation in calendar form. Nudge 2.0 launched today on Product Hunt. It is built directly for that failure mode. Not another place to manage your life, but an AI scheduler. It turns tasks into a week you might actually follow. The product page says the rule is simple. Do not manage, just do. You can type tasks in plain text, and the AI turns them into real tasks with durations, priorities, and deadlines. With one click, it schedules the week around sleep, meals, and fixed events. It has Slack and Discord built in, so capture and rescheduling can happen from the places where work already interrupts you. It also has calendar, list, and Kanban views in one workspace. The maker, Shunsuke Nakagawa, describes it as a solo-built product from Tokyo, shaped by the earlier beta feedback from people who were tired of productivity tools becoming one more chore. The feature that makes this interesting is the dawn sweep. If you miss a task, Nudge does not ask you to manually drag yesterday forward. While you sleep, it moves unfinished tasks into today's open slots. The current logic? Oldest slip first. Slots are based on actual availability, working hours minus calendar events and lunch, on a 15-minute grid. If something still does not fit, it stays overdue, appears in the morning digest, and retries tomorrow. That is not glamorous. It is better than glamorous. It is boring in the exact way planning software should be boring. Through the introvert lens, this scores an 8 because it attacks a quieter social problem, accountability theater. A lot of people solve follow-through by adding another person. A co-working session, a coach, a stand-up, a text that says, "Did you do the thing?" Sometimes that turns private work into a performance. Nudge offers a different bargain. The system watches the plan and repairs the schedule. It puts the avoided task back in daylight without requiring you to explain why you slipped. For people who spend too much energy narrating their intentions, that matters. The oddest feature is also the most honest one. You can lock money on a deadline. Product Hunt says $5, while the maker says the lock can go up to $50. Finish and submit proof and you pay nothing. Miss it and the penalty is real. I do not think everyone should use this. Money pressure can become weird fast. But as a small commitment device for tasks that are emotionally sticky, it is interesting. The important detail is that the lock does not buy priority in the schedule. It is a commitment device, not a bidding system. The experiment I would run is not a full life overhaul. That is how productivity apps become interior design projects. I would pick 1 week and 1 category of avoided work. Maybe admin, maybe writing, maybe follow-ups, maybe the boring maintenance tasks that never become urgent enough to feel real. Add them in plain text. Let Nudge estimate the shape. Set sleep, meals, and fixed events as immovable. Then leave the plan alone long enough to see what happens. The question is not whether the schedule is perfect. The question is whether you spend less time renegotiating with yourself. There are caveats. Google Calendar Sync is built, but waiting on verification at launch. Nudge plans around the life you configure inside the app. A commenter asked for a quick way to push a day back by an hour. Right now, shifting a whole day still means dragging manually. That matters, because the worst time to do calendar surgery is when the day is already going sideways. The prioritization rule is also still simple. Oldest slip first is humane, but it may not always be urgent first. My verdict: Nudge is worth testing if your planning problem is not imagination, but friction. If you already follow your calendar like a monastery bell, you probably do not need this. If you constantly rebuild the plan instead of doing the work, this is more interesting. It tries to remove the part where the app becomes a second job. It also treats food and sleep as real constraints, which sounds obvious until you remember how many systems are designed for fictional people with no bodies. The bigger signal is that AI planning is moving from advice to choreography. Old productivity software stored the promise. Newer AI tools are starting to place the promise into time, adjust after reality interferes, and nudge the next action back into view. For introverts, the relief is subtle but real. Less explaining, less public accountability, less self-management theater. You still have to do the task. Annoying, I know. But maybe the plan can stop needing so much attention before the work even begins.